Alright guys, how's it going? CitizenCon, the Star Citizen convention, took place in Manchester on the 10th of October. The whole thing took about 2 hours overall, but I'm going to condense it down a little bit. I'm going to throw in a bit of analysis there as well, so let's see how it goes. Really early in the event, they decided to show us the numbers of the employees for CIG, yeah? And as you can see, the numbers have been steadily growing. The reason that they've done this is there's been a lot said about people being laid off and stuff like that, and you don't really hear so much about people being hired. But the numbers pretty conclusively show that they are indeed hiring. Even though they're firing, yeah? They're hiring as well. Firing people is kind of newsworthy, especially for a project like Star Citizen, yeah? But hiring people maybe not so much. They've got 270 people and still growing, so that should help to allay some fears that places are going to be shutting down and other bunch of nonsense that they're running out of money. If that was the case, they would be firing, yeah, and not hiring. So first up, in terms of actual news, Star Citizen Alpha 1.3.0 is coming within the next month. Chris Roberts said they would do a wider test in around about a week, with the 1.3 patch coming to us a couple of weeks later. That's assuming everything goes well. There's nothing massive there, yeah, it's an awful lot about the social module again. Very much an iteration though of what you've already seen. There was, however, one or two interesting things as well. Functional buggies, for example, so that's going to be pretty cool to see. And there is a functional respawn mechanic, because when you die on the buggy you do need to respawn. But mostly it's very much along the lines of the art core. The social module is being updated. There's also improved hangar lighting as well, but it's pretty much an iteration of what we saw in 1.2. Now that part is all well and good, but what we really want to know about is the Star Citizen Alpha 2.0, or in other words, it's the beginning of the persistent universe. This is basically the game is now coming to us. Very, very early version of the game, yeah, so don't get too excited about it. However, it's going to have the guts of the game mechanics that you can basically see for yourself how it's all going to work out. You'll also see it in this video. But that's going to include the space flight. It's got the zero gravity when you leave your ship and fly around outside. Well, you're not flying, yeah, you're I don't know what's it called when you're in space and not in your ship. You're going to have the FPS in it as well, so you're going to be able to go to stations and do ground combat. There's some kind of social thing as well. I would guess this is going to be based around your starting area, but we'll see about that. And there's going to be missions. According to Chris, there are currently 38 missions. It's a big sandbox sort of thing with 38 missions to do currently, that is. It's a very large world, 1 million kilometres square and 200,000 kilometres high. I'll have a closer look at that a bit later though. So what will you find there? Well, it's going to take place around a gas giant, a massive gas giant called Crusader, and it's got 3 moons as well. There's going to be 3 large areas, a port called Port Olisar, which is where you start off, and there's going to be a security post. This is where you're going to go if you want to fight like the first person shooter part of it, and there's also the Covalex shipping hub. On top of those 3 larger areas, there are several offline communication arrays. Apparently there's going to be 8 of those, numerous research satellites which can be used to look for new jump points. Now that's pretty interesting, because I would have thought that looking for jump points would have been something that was done on a ship. Maybe they've just added this right now because you can't actually do it on the ship as yet. But it's certainly interesting to have a think about what this actually means. Are you going to go there and look through a telescope and see if you can find stuff? Hard to say exactly what it's going to be. And finally, there is the Cry Astro service platforms that will allow players to rearm, refuel and repair, all 3 of which are ready. Now before we move on to the actual demo itself, we're going to talk a little bit about the flight system changes. There are going to be 4 modes of flying around. You've got your precision manoeuvring, which you're going to use for taking off, landing, doing mining, that sort of stuff. Very slow movement that lets you do the precise stuff. The second fastest mode is the space combat manoeuvring, which you can see in stuff like Arena Commander. This is what the standard flight is, and your ship is very manoeuvrable, very fast, but obviously fast on a local level as opposed to being fast on a planetary level, if you know what I mean. For that sort of stuff, you've got super cruise and quantum travel. And as it says, super cruise is an intermediate step between combat speed basically, yeah, and quantum travel. You can travel at much higher speeds than combat mode, but you're limited manoeuvring to controlled turns only. So this is something that you'd use, let's say like you kind of pointed in a direction and you found yourself someplace. You would then use super cruise to just get that little bit closer, yeah? You're going to see quantum travel pretty soon. But currently, from what it looks like, you're going to be travelling up to 0.2 the speed of light, so that's pretty fast. If you think about that, if the map is only 1 million kilometers across, and if you're capable of traveling at 0.2 the speed of light's what, 300,000 kilometers a second, which is pretty fast. So quantum travel should be about 60,000 kilometers per second. 0.2, yeah, 0.2 speed of light, which means you're going to be able to traverse the entire map in under 20 seconds. I'm not exactly sure if that's the case or not. It'll be interesting to see. Regardless of that, you cannot maneuver whatsoever. So no matter where you go, you're going to miss your destination by a fair distance, yeah? And then you're going to have to get there with Super Cruise. It all kind of ties in quite nicely. I'm just not so sure about the actual speeds and distances yet. I'm going to let Chris Roberts himself talk us through it, and then I will add my own input at certain points.
So having said that, we're now going to show you a demo of working in SC Alpha 2.0, all live like we did last time. So let's play a little bit and sort of kind of see all the things that we've talked about being all together. All right? Take it away, Andy. Okay, so here we are. There's 64 different places you can spawn in. There's sort of your habitats. Or not your habits, your little sort of cabins. So when you join the large world / SC Alpha, there's various different rooms. There's your own particular rooms. So here we got 4 of our folks here.
You can, of course, walk around in first person, but also in third person if that is what you want to do. As you can see here. And there's a window to look through.
Okay, and so when you spawn on the space station, you can go to these different terminals and call up one of your ships to be on one of the landing pads. So we're going to pull up a Constellation. So we're all, because, you know. And so it tells us what landing pad, how many landing pads do we have on Port Olisar? 10. I think there's 10 landing pads.
So that kind of ties in with the 64 spawn points as well, yeah? 10 ships, 64 people in the same instance. Seems pretty reasonable, that.
And the space station's built out with access to all the 10 landing pads and stuff. So it's built out in a much larger scale than we did on the Gamescom demo. One of our players is taking a Hornet, so we're taking a Hornet, and the other 3 are going to be on the. So I guess this was on landing pad 2, and then the other guys are on 4, which you can see over here. And if we look over here,
it's pretty cool, yeah, when you can actually see them so far away. The guys you're going to be flying next to.
Up into the Constellation. The Constellation is almost done. It'll be done when we ship this. It's missing a few little bits, but if you take a look, it's quite beautiful.
It's a pretty nice looking ship in the inside, actually, this one.
So, as we said before, the Constellation's had a complete overhaul. It's built up to the quality that the Retaliator is now. Whole extra level of detail.
A pretty big ship as well, as you could see.
Envin Aerospace. All systems online. Scanning landing gear. Raised. Autopilot. Disengaged. Bogey.
Now, they're working on the flight model.
We should come back into the Constellation.
Takeoff's a little bit light, yeah. It looks like there's no real weight in the ships there.
How about a view from inside too? Would be kind of cool, huh?
It's maybe a little bit too manoeuvrable still. Now this might be Super Cruise speed that we're in here. Not sure though.
Okay. Now we're going to head to this communications satellite to turn it back on, which has been sort of sabotaged by pirates.
Quantum drive. This is smart. Pay attention to the planet.
Yep, so we're in
or the moon.
So you move around here a little bit, so it's kind of pretty cool to.
Quantum drive deactivated.
And again, this might well be super cruise speed, but not sure. I would think so.
Scanning. Bogey.
Oh, looks like there's some pirates around here, so we probably should go fight them. So, I know it's a surprise. Yeah, so this is part of the SC Alpha 2.0. So there's various areas. So like these are AI pirates that would spawn around the communication satellite they've disabled. Oh, see the Hornet just go past. There we go. Should we get in the someone get in the turret?
Scanning. Bogey.
Now it's a live demo, yeah, and you can clearly see that there are still some issues here.
Shields charging. Shields charging.
The screen's kind of shaking a bit, but this does at least prove that it is live, yeah.
Locked.
No explosions really in the smaller ships, or you can't see them. That might be something to change.
Bogey. Scanning.
Again here you see there's some kind of jerky thing going on with the demo. But it's all working. Yeah, you can see the turrets are working. And now I guess we're about to see the slowest speed at this point.
Alright. We're going to stop here and we'll show one other feature, which is allow you can go in and out of EVA in any vehicle, including single seat fighters. So
this is pretty cool, yeah. Spacewalking is of course what it's called.
So we'll head in here to
You must be pretty vulnerable like this.
you can see him EVAing right there. So let's EVA into the communication satellite.
Now, it'll be interesting to know when you actually switch between this sort of EVA mode and first person shooter mode. How that works, in fact. Or is it just automatic? Again, you can see that there's plenty of scope for missions in this type of thing. This could be anything, yeah. Repair the satellite, it can be anything. Collect a package.
Alright, okay, so we've put the comm satellite back online and we'll have some new nav coordinates now. So we'll just get out.
There could be scope for exploration here as well. You could just find stuff, yeah? Upgrades for your ship, maybe?
Yeah.
It's very smart.
As you can see, there's some damage was taken on the Constellation that we're going to go, and when we get on our ship, we'll go ahead and repair. Yeah.
Pretty good sense of scale there as well, I thought. Not so sure about the smoke effect in space.
Quantum drive activated.
It's pretty smart to see the quantum drive inside and outside the ship though. This is really well done.
Quantum drive deactivated.
Now maybe not great coming in and out of it, yeah, but this is something that they will fix.
And so this is one of the many refuel, repair, and rearm stations.
Again, you get a really nice sense of scale. like this feels like it's very, very large.
There you go. It's one of the refuel rearm paths. And here come the drones. Okay.
Raised. Autopilot. Disengaged.
So now we're going to go to Security Port Korea and check that out. This is sort of the kind of dedicated FPS area that we have. And longer term, as we carry on building this out, we're going to have areas that you will have not just AI ships, but AI individuals on foot that you will also have fights with in combat, and meet them and talk to them and do all the rest of the stuff. So as I said, what we're doing here is absolutely the foundation of everything that Star Citizen is going to be.
Quantum drive appears to require a target, first of all, but this is something that they may change. It's a really nice effect though. You can tell you're travelling quite a distance. That seems like quite a long trip, yeah, so I think maybe my 20 seconds thing was a little bit off.
Quantum drive activated.
Yeah, that was a bit strange as well. They sort of went out of quantum drive then back in, so not quite sure what that was all about.
Quantum drive deactivated.
Again, a slight bug there, but nothing unusual at this stage of development.
Alright. And this is the area that will be in the first release that will have sort of weapon drops and stuff. So if you come here, you'll be able to get weapons and stuff that you wouldn't normally have, and then use those to shoot other people if you want. Or defend yourself, either one of the two.
Again, you get a really nice sense of scale. Now, a lot of people commenting on, again, the sort of weight or lack of it in the ship. Doesn't really feel like you're landing a really big ship, but this is stuff that they're working on.
There we go. Yeah. It's a big ship, you got to be careful with it.
It just feels a little bit too light, yeah.
I think this is one of our merry band that was in the Hornet, and if we come around here we'll see the rest of the folks at some point coming out.
Again, you just get that real sense of scale.
Down we go. Awesome. Here they come.
Graphics are really good.
it's sort of like a command and control point. So if you come and you control this area, you'll get missions and stuff. And so the idea is when we have this running, people will hopefully come here and try and control and fight over the area. So, well, there we go. Here we have some people do it right now. So we have four outlaws that have been playing by the 4 guys over on this side. And there's also some weapon drops around here, so hopefully we can find a few of them.
And it could be interesting, yeah. You're going to have the guys that can fly well, you're going to have guys that are good at the FPS, and obviously the really good players are going to be great at both. That's going to be pretty unusual.
And there's some recharge stations for energy weapons there, and there's some ammo drops and various weapon drops around here. Right. Okay, these are the outlaws. Outlaw.
So these are the other guys here. I think they've wiped out the first guys.
Hey, did you guys kill all the Marines? I guess they're gonna steal the Constellation now. So we don't actually rehearse this. Sometimes the Marines win, sometimes the outlaw guys win. I think this was pretty much a whitewash.
I think the smart thing to do is maybe always leave somebody with the ship, yeah? Just to take off in case this thing happens. Bad enough getting wiped out. I don't think I'd be very happy about losing my ship as well. I'll be interested to see how people approach this though.
I guess it's all your bases belong to us, or all your Constellation belongs to us. Feels good.
A lot of people talk about the ships, yeah, but when you see the attention to detail, you really do realise just how important the ships are. And off they go with their new ship. Yeah, it's pretty interesting to think about.
These are the various destinations you can see. So there's going to be a huge amount of, just even in the first drop, there's going to be a massive amount of places to visit in the large world and play. So we're pretty excited by that. We've been sort of playing this the last week or so here in the UK, and it's actually kind of fun. People shooting each other in the face and flying around and doing stuff. One of the, I think the big things from this is to let you guys know that we sort of decided that, FPS is really integral to the whole experience. And so our focus is we're going to give you SC Alpha 2.0 with all that. That's actually going to be, I don't want to give you dates because everyone gives me shit for giving you dates. So let me say it's in the near future. We're not very far away from being content and functionality complete in that, so I'm pretty confident that that will be in your guys' hands in the near future, and in the near future I mean inside. Soon. There's been a lot of hard work to get all this stuff in there. There's going to be a little bit more hard work for it, but I think it's going to be a great experience, and I'm really looking forward to seeing everyone fly around and adventure and kind of make their own little stories up, and then we're going to slowly build out from there.
So what the original intention was to give us this without the FPS, and this was supposed to be dropping by the end of October. However, now it's pretty clear you're probably talking before the end of the year, is what he seems to be hinting at there. but instead of having everything except the FPS, you're also going to have the FPS in amongst it. You really need it when you see it there, yeah, it really is integral to the game, but that will practically be most of the game just there, yeah, most of the mechanics all in place, and then it's really a case of just fleshing it out. Right, so that's part 1 of my CitizenCon analysis done. I'll be back with part 2 in a couple of days. Catch you later, guys.